So as you can see, I've put on the doors and the windows of this floor in the file like this. As you can see, this is how it looks like. And after we've done that, I'm going to go into the details. So now we'll start from the base and then we'll draw the details. And the reasoning for this is we have a type for this floor, so we're going to finish the floor down to the details and then we'll copy it for the rest of the floors up to the 7th floor. And we'll have the planning done this easily. So I'll just get a quick save and then I'll go to the south view of the structural plan that we have right here, so you can get a good look at it. So we'll just go over here and this is how it looks like now. So I'll bring this part up and then I right click on this and then I click on go to floor plan. And here we have the floor plan of the architectural section. So from this plan, as you can see, let's go to the AutoCAD file and let's do the walls first. So let's go to the underground floor plan. And as you can see, we have some joinery here. So in order to check this out better, let's go to the joinery chart that we have. Let's see where it is. All right, here we have some elevator, the opening. So let's just skip over these and then we'll go over here. Let's see. All right, here we have the store and then the parking, and here we have travertine rock and the different details here. And as you can see, most of the details use travertine stone and it's 60 by 60. So let's go to the details. And here in the underground details, we have these materials over here and these details. Let me just scroll up so we can see them better. There we go. So as you can see, based on the texts, here we have a cornice made of milky travertine stone, and then behind that we have a sand and cement slurry according to technical specifications. And then behind that we have an optical fiber, which we can't see in here, but we can get to see in the 3D view. And after that we have some joinery according to the chart. And then after that we have another layer of joinery according to the chart. After that we have a concrete LICA, which we have completed already. And then after that we have gypsum and soil coating with polished plaster top. And the rest of it we've done already, so this is the only part remaining. And then we're going to draw these according to the joinery chart that we had. So here when it says joinery according to the charts, we go to the chart and see the reference and see that in the parking section it says travertine stone, and here in the final coating we have the same travertine stone that we had earlier. And after parking we have the warehouse that in the final coating, as you can see, we have a white cement. Let's just put it as white cement. And it's just one layer and we're going to do it easily. So let's go back to our underground plan. Let me just pull it up. And there we go. So here we have it like this. And after we've taken a look, let's go back to the Revit file like this. Let me just, there you go. And as you can see in the plan, the areas with which you have the warehouse walls, we'll just use white cement for them. So I'm going to go to the file that I made earlier, the notepad. I'm going to pull it up. Let me just do that. So let's search and see if we do have any white cement in this one. Control F. And it seems like we don't have any white cement in it. It's no problem. We're going to make it ourselves. So let me just go back to the CAD file and to the warehouse in the joinery chart. Here, as you can see, we have white trowel, flat cement, sand coating, and we'll just refer to it as white cement. So I go back to the notepad file that we had, and then I'll get a copy of this walls here where we have, and then I'll make a new line. I'll name it W-15. So here I'll hit a tab, and then I'm going to write white trowel, flat cement, sand coating, and then another tab, and then Control V, and there you go. So after that, we get a quick save of the file, and after we've done that, we go back to the Revit file, and here under the annotate tab that we have, I'll open up the settings, and then I'll reload the keynote that we had. I'll hit OK on this, and another OK here. So after this, I'm going to create a new work set, which is not necessary. You can have all of them in the same work set, but we'll make a new one so we'll be having an easier job managing them. So here, I'll make a new work set, and then I'm going to name it Wall Finishing, and then I'll hit OK. So let me just do that, and from this tab, I'll set it on wall finishing as well, and then I'll hit OK and then close this up. So after I've done that, I'm going to go to the wall section, and from this part here, I'm going to choose the 7 centimeter inside wall. I go to the type properties, and I'll make a duplicate of it, and I'm going to name it white cement warehouse wall. So OK on this, and after that I go to the edit section, and I'll pull up the thickness. So I'll put this on 3 centimeters, and then I'll go to the material section, and in the material browser I'm going to search for cement to see if we've already made one or not. So let me just type it out, and it seems we haven't. So I'll just type in cement here again, pull up the concrete section here, and then I'll scroll through these. Down here we have cement again too. So let's type in white cement and see what pulls up, and there we go. So here we have a default white cement, but it's not really important. You can make a white cement yourself. So I'll just select this and I'll add it to the section up here. So here we see a little yellow triangle here. It says this is for older versions. We recommend that you update it, which is not really important to us because there's not a really important update in the newer versions. It just works better in the rendering. So I'll go to the appearance tab, and I'll hit replace this assets. And if I search for white cement here, you see the same yellow triangle here. So let me just search for white concrete instead to see if we have any newer versions for it. So we go to this part here. Let's see what we have here. It seems like we don't have anything, so let me just search for concrete instead. So for example, this one right here is a good example for us that we can use. So I'll click on this one so it can replace the file that we have over here. So I close this one and I go to the identity tab, and here in the name section I'll write white cement. So then I'll hit a Ctrl+C to copy it, and then a Ctrl+V in the description, and I'll put it in the concrete class. And as I've already mentioned, you can put other sort of information in the comments here. We'll just put inside wall cements here. And after that, we have the keywords. So let's see. In this part, I'm just going to write white cement. And there we go. Maybe I'll add cement work after it. So there we go with that. And after that, we have the manufacturer here that you can add. And after that, we have the model and the costs. And the cost section, normally the cost for cement work is between 10,000 and 30,000. So as an average, I'll just put in 15,000 for now. After that, you can give any link that you want to add extra information. In the keynote section, I'm going to pull up the walls. So I'll add the line that we created before. And here in the mark, I'll just write white cement. Here in the graphics tab, I'm going to check the use render, and then we'll go to the appearance tab. So let's see what kinds of options we have here. Here we have the graphics, and there's the color. Let's see what color we should choose for this one. I'll just add in white. Here we have the reflectance, and these parts that you see over here have a much higher graphic on newer versions of it. And so there we go. So I'll just hit OK here, and there it is.